Stop. Do not go to the Toyota dealership. Do not sign that $35,000 check. You are about to walk straight into a financial trap, one that millions of buyers are falling into every single day. We need to have an honest conversation about what I call the Toyota tax. For the past 20 years, the advice was simple. If you want a car that lasts forever, buy a Toyota RAV4. And for a long time, that advice was salad. It was safe. It was logical. It was smart money. But in 2026, the market is broken, and the RAV4 has become a victim of its own reputation. It's no longer just a vehicle. It's a cult. And because of that blind loyalty, dealers are charging absurd, borderline criminal prices. I've personally seen used RAV4s with 80,000 miles listed for $25,000. That isn't paying for quality. That's paying for a badge. You're paying luxury car money for an economy SUV with hard plastics, loud cabins, and technology that feels 10 years behind. But what if I told you there's a glitch in the matrix, a ghost hiding in the market? There is another Japanese SUV built in Hiroshima that is actually more reliable than modern Toyotas. It uses a real transmission, not a rubber band CVT. Its interior benchmarks BMW, not Honda. And because it doesn't wear a Toyota badge, it costs $10,000 less. In this deep dive, we're going to dismantle the SUV market. I'll show you the fatal engineering flaws in the Nissan Rogue and Ford Escape, vehicles mechanics quietly beg people to avoid. We'll expose the Cablegate scandal Toyota hopes you never hear about. And finally, I'll reveal the exact model year and trim of a $12,000 SUV that makes the RAV4 look like a scam. But to understand why this secret SUV is so good, we first need to understand why everything else is so bad. When buyers realize the RAV4 is overpriced, they start shopping alternatives. And this is where most people lose their life savings. Let's start with the most common trap, the Nissan Rogue. On the surface, it looks like a bargain, a 2020 or 2021 model for under $12,000. Comfortable seats, sharp styling. But underneath that metal skin lies an engineering disaster, the Jatco CVT transmission. CVT stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. Instead of steel gears, it relies on a steel belt and pulleys. Nissan paired this fragile design with heavy SUVs. The result? Heat. Massive heat. The fluid breaks down, the belt slips, and eventually the transmission self-destructs. Transmission shops literally stack these units in the corner. Failures typically happen just after the warranty expires, around 80,000 to 90,000 miles. Replacement cost? $6,000. If you buy a cheap Rogue, you're not buying a car, you're buying a ticking time bomb.
Then we move to the American contenders, the Ford Escape and Chevrolet Equinox. Let's talk about the Ford Escape, specifically 2020 to 2023 models. Ford put a 1.5-liter three-cylinder turbo engine into a heavy family SUV. To move that weight, it runs high boost pressure, generating extreme heat and stress. But the real issue? Coolant intrusion. The cylinder walls are too thin, the block cracks, coolant leaks into the cylinders. The engine destroys itself, often around 60,000 miles. That is completely unacceptable. So maybe the Chevrolet Equinox? It's cheap, it's everywhere, but look closer. Failing vacuum pumps, leaking rear main seals, cost-cut engineering. These cars are disposable appliances, built to survive the lease, not ownership. So buyers crawl back to Toyota thinking, I'll just pay more for the RAV4 because it's bulletproof. Is it? Let's talk about Cablegate. On the RAV4 Hybrid, the most desirable version, there's a high-voltage cable running to the rear motor. Toyota designed the connector in a way that allows water and road salt to accumulate inside. The cable corrodes, the hybrid system shuts down. Repair cost? $4,000 to $6,000. This is supposed to be the gold standard of reliability. And then there's the driving experience. The 8-speed automatic hunts for gears. The gas models use a CVT that drones loudly on the highway. The interior is filled with cheap, scratchy plastics. Sound insulation is poor. When you pay $35,000, you expect refinement. Toyota? isn't delivering it. They're selling you a reputation built in the 1990s at 2026 prices. So what's the solution? The SUV mechanics buy for their wives. The SUV journalists drive when they're not testing Ferraris. The Mazda CX-5, specifically the second-generation CF chassis, built from 2017 to 2021. Why is this the RAV4 killer? One word: philosophy. While the industry downsized engines and added massive turbos to cheat emissions tests, Mazda went the opposite direction with skyactiv technology. Under the hood is a 2.5-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder. No turbo, no excessive heat, no expensive failures. It uses a high 13-to-1 compression ratio, extracting efficiency without sacrificing durability. The timing chain is robust, the direct injection system is proven. This engine is overbuilt and designed to run 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. And then there's the transmission. While Nissan, Honda, Subaru, and Toyota rushed to CVTs, Mazda stayed with a traditional 6-speed automatic. Torque converter for smoothness, lockup clutch for efficiency and response. It's bulletproof, it can tow, it handles mountains, it doesn't slip or whine, it just works. And because it uses real gears, it's actually fun to drive. Now let's talk interior quality. Blindfold someone and place them in a 2019 CX-5 Grand Touring, then put them in a 2019 BMW X3. Many wouldn't know the difference. High-density seat foam, acoustic glass, real metal knobs with engineered resistance, soft-touch dashboards with stitching. Close the door on a RAV4, it sounds hollow. Close the door on a Mazda, it sounds solid. Mazda understands that buying a family SUV doesn't mean you want to feel like you're driving a rental car. Now, no car is perfect, so let's be honest about the flaws. Infotainment, 2017 to 2020. Smaller screen, slower boot time, controlled by a dial, not touch. Some love it, some hate it. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto fix most issues. Paint, Soul Red Crystal is stunning, but prone to rock chips. Rear seat space, slightly tighter than a CR-V. Fine for most families, not class-leading. Cylinder deactivation, 2018 only. Minor oil leak reports. Not catastrophic, but worth noting. The 2017 avoids this entirely. So what should you buy? My official recommendation, 2017 to 2018 Mazda CX-5 Touring or Grand Touring. Why? Depreciation has already hit. You can find clean examples with 60 to 80,000 miles for $12,000 to $14,000. Grand Touring adds Bose audio, sunroof, heated leather seats, power liftgate, blind spot monitoring, and radar cruise control. Skip the base sport trim. Avoid the turbo unless you have extra budget. The non-turbo 2.5-liter is the longevity king. Final math? RAV4, $24,000. Reliable, but noisy, cheap-feeling, and overpriced. Nissan/Ford, $11,000. Cheap now, $6,000 repair later. Mazda CX-5, $12,000. Luxury feel, bulletproof drivetrain, and $10,000 still in your bank. The RAV4 is a great appliance. The CX-5 is a great car. The market is waking up. Prices are creeping higher. But right now, in 2026, this is the single best value in the automotive world. Don't follow the herd. The herd gets slaughtered at the dealership. Be a wolf. Find the value. Buy the Mazda. And if you're not shopping for an SUV, if you're staring at an $80,000 Ford F-150 and feeling sick, I've got good news. There's a $5,000 truck that will survive a nuclear apocalypse, and mechanics are hoarding them. Click the next video to see the ugly truck that makes the new F-150 look like a toy.